JBN, we keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, OPM announces SOEs in Clarendon and St. James. A state of public emergency SOE has been declared for the parishes of Clarendon and St. James. The SOEs will last an initial period of 14 days, beginning at midnight on March 14, 2023. In declaring the areas under SOE, the proclamation states that action has been taken or is immediately threatened by persons or bodies of persons of such a nature and on such an extensive scale as to be likely to endanger the public safety of the communities in the area specified. In a release on Tuesday, the Office of the Prime Minister OPM stated that the parishes of St. James and Clarendon remain of particular concern for outbreaks of gang violence. Organized gangs remain a threat in these parishes, although there have been some success in reducing murders through strategic and tactical security operations. More needs to be done. As we acknowledge this, the government will continue to use all tools at our disposal to protect the lives of our citizens of Jamaica and dismantle the threat to law and order. The OPM stated that the declaration of SOEs will allow the security forces to carry out targeted operations to disrupt and dismantle criminal gangs and their networks and prevent the occurrence of serious crimes. The government is assuring the public and all stakeholders that the safety and security of all Jamaicans remain its top priority. All citizens are urged to cooperate with the security forces as they work to stop criminal activity. Boys to get counseling after witnessing gruesome Manchester murder. An 11-year-old boy and his 5-year-old cousin have been left traumatized after witnessing his mother, Shade Brown, 28, being stabbed repeatedly with 3 knives, allegedly by her spouse, despite the child's cries of mercy last Friday night in Newport. The boy's grief-stricken grandmother, Donna Walker, said that the ordeal has left the child living in fear after he was allegedly threatened by the murder suspect. The son said to him, "Where do my mother suffer?" And he said, "More fire before me stab you up too," Walker said, as she shared the gruesome details of her daughter's murder. A senior police source said investigators believe the couple had a dispute about 8:30 p.m. A police report said the man then proceeded to use the knives to stab Brown repeatedly before fleeing the scene. The children were reportedly locked inside the house with Brown's body. After hours of trying to get out of the house to seek assistance, the 11-year-old alerted neighbors. A bus owned by Brown's relative, which was given to the accused to drive, was found a short distance from the house with the keys inside and was reportedly used by neighbors to transport Brown to the hospital. The suspect was on Saturday afternoon held by the police. Head of the Manchester Police, Superintendent Shane McCall on Monday, said that investigators will be charging the suspect and placing him before the courts. Walker said her daughter allowed the suspect back into an apartment in Daly's Grove, Newport, 2 weeks ago, after the two had separated in January, following an alleged dispute in which a chair was reportedly thrown at her. In a January, lift up the chair from around the table because him the one to talk to her, but she was never in no talking mood. So him lift up the chair and lick after her and she block it with her hand. It even lick out the bulb in the kitchen. She rushed to the door and the force her she hold the door with the angle pop off, said Walker. Him leave but him keep on a call me and a complain. Him call her and she block him. Within her she was finished with him. But then him keep on calling and begging her to come back. And she with her soft heart feel sorry for him. She's that type of person. So him come back 1 week and a couple days and this happen, added Walker. She said counseling is now being arranged for the 2 children. Come on, you take 3 knives. They're in a hole up on the kitchen counter that she get for her Christmas present from her workplace. Him kick off the room door and went in there. She and the 2 little boys were in there, said Walker. The distraught grandmother said she was a caregiver to her grandson, while Brown worked as a surgical assistant at a private medical facility in Mandeville. "I'll be there today looking to see 3 o'clock. I know that she soon come. Is it that me go start the dinner? Although she then say, 'Mommy, don't cook,'" said a teary-eyed Walker. She described her daughter as an angel and detailed how she worked hard after becoming pregnant at age 17. She get pregnant right on graduation, but she did the graduation photo and everything. She never walked in the graduation. She started working odd jobs like in a bars. While she worked on bar Alligator Pond, she sent herself to U Open campus where she did practical nursing, said Walker. After that she said, "Mommy, I would work in the theater. My mother and the Turks and Caicos funded her," added Walker. She said Brown had been working at the private medical facility for close to 8 months. "She's in heaven. I know that for sure because she always said, 'Mommy, you need to go to church and accept God,' because she do her own fasting at home," said Walker. Bail extended for 2 men accused of St. James double murder. One of 2 men who have been charged with a double murder in Paradise Norwood in St. James in 2019 is yet to secure legal representation. Charger Clifton Anglin and Nicholas Robb. Robb and Anglin have been charged with the murders of Fitzgerald Rodman, otherwise called Flip, of Paradise Norwood, who was 20 years old at the time, and Jamie Anderson of Albion, who was 13 years old at the time. When the case was mentioned in the St. James Circuit Court on Monday, the court was told that Anglin was unrepresented. Presiding High Court Justice Andrea Thomas deferred the matter until September 21, when Anglin is likely to have hired legal counsel. The 2 defendants' bail was extended. According to the allegations, on December 22, 2019, about 8 p.m., Rodman and Anderson were on their way home from a neighborhood shop when they were ambushed by armed men who opened fire on them, hitting them multiple times all over their bodies. They were taken to the hospital where they were pronounced dead. Anglin and Robb were subsequently arrested and charged with the murders. Man shot after being called to location for delivery. 4 months ago, a man was called to a location in Content Gardens, St. Anne, to make a delivery. However, when he got there, he was reportedly met with gunfire. His alleged shooter is now in police custody, facing several charges. The police, in a release Monday, said Tyreek Hill, 22, of Charlestown in St. Anne, was charged with several offences under the Offences Against a Person Act and the Firearms Act following the November 2, 2022 incident. The charges are wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony. Reports from the Sentence Bay Police are that about 12:25 p.m., a man was called to the location to make a delivery when he was allegedly pounced upon by Hill, who opened gunfire, hitting him. The man managed to escape and was assisted to the hospital, where he was admitted. Hill was charged on Sunday after an identification parade. His court date is being finalized, the police said. Lottery scamming a factor in Bull's murder. The police say the killing of a man by unknown assailants in St. Elizabeth last month, while he was transporting students from school in Santa Cruz, was related to lottery scamming. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police Division, Superintendent Kenneth Chin, made the revelation while giving his crime report at the monthly meeting of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. 28-year-old Davar Garwood, otherwise called Bull, of Institution Drive in Santa Cruz, was killed at about 3 p.m. on February 7. Police reported that Garwood had picked up 3 students at Park Mountain Primary School, and upon leaving the institution, a black Toyota motor car pulled up alongside his vehicle and opened fire on him. The children who were not injured in the attack ran from the vehicle and hid until they were later found by residents who took them to the Santa Cruz police station. The shooting happened near the intersection of Park and the Santa Cruz Main Road, which caused traffic to back up for hours. In the meantime, Superintendent Chin says the police seized 1 high-powered weapon and 5 handguns in the parish in February. Man charged after over 1,000 names and info of overseas residents allegedly found on laptop. A court-ordered social inquiry report is being prepared for a 22-year-old St. James man after he was arrested for allegedly having over 1,000 lottery scamming paraphernalia in his possession. Lascelles Anderson of Shawcastle in the parish pleaded guilty to breaches of the law reform, fraudulent transactions, Special Provisions Act, following his appearance in the St. James Circuit Court on Tuesday. Following the Crown Counsel's summary of the allegations and Anderson's plea, Presiding High Court Justice Andrea Thomas requested a social inquiry report and postponed sentencing until March 27. According to court documents, on December 29, 2018, officers were on foot patrolling the Shawcastle community in St. James when they noticed the accused man sitting in a yard. Anderson quickly got up and moved towards the house when he saw the cops, raising their suspicions. When one of the officers confronted him and informed him that they would be entering his home, he allegedly said, "Do you think me boss?" During a search of the house, a laptop wrapped in a sheet on the bed was discovered, which he admitted belonged to him. After the laptop was analyzed, an Excel application with 8 folders containing over 1,000 names, addresses, and phone numbers of persons residing overseas was discovered. Anderson was informed of the offense, and when cautioned, he reportedly said to the officer, "I just been scamming things and upon the laptop." He was arrested and charged with possession of identity information. Rain on the way for drought-hit Jamaica, says Mid-Service. Most Jamaicans, especially those living in the corporate area, will look to the sky with glee and presumably welcome the Met Service of Jamaica's current forecast for rain that could ease some of the island's water woes. According to the Met Service, a prefrontal trough is expected to move across the island on Wednesday, followed by a cold front on Thursday. Against this background, it said Jamaicans should expect increased cloudiness and showers across sections of most parishes. The Met Service forecast predicted that there will be scattered afternoon showers across most parishes and isolated thunderstorms across hilly areas and northern parishes on Wednesday. On Thursday, the forecast suggests that the conditions will become mostly cloudy with showers, especially across central and eastern parishes. The development is expected to be welcomed by most Jamaicans, especially in the Kingston and St. Andrew areas, where drought conditions have forced the National Water Commission to implement supply restrictions since February in order to slow the fall in water levels at the two main catchment facilities. While water levels had not hit a critical stage, an adjustment had been necessary to ensure supply over the next few months, the authorities had said. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.